Oh hey, thanks for clicking. I'm outside now, doing my thing, whatever. We're going to paint some miniatures today. The first ones we're going to paint are these little guys. Boys with shooters. Woo. First we got to primer them. I'm just going to primer them all together. I've never done this before, but I'm already feeling like I should just, throw everything I've learned out the window and just try my own thing, just so I can make mistakes and get messy. So most guys use, I've seen online anyways, use like either a white or a black primer, depending on what they're doing. I think most people would use a black primer on these works, but I'm gonna do something a little crazy. I'm gonna use a little burgundy. I think it would complement the armor. It would add some nice shading effects to the armor, and it would also like contrast with the green skin really well. So wish me luck on this. Hopefully I don't mess this up, but that's half the fun of doing this stuff, is making mistakes. Alright, we're back inside. Got these primed up a nice nice burgundy color. Get nice and close, let it focus in. Oh yeah, looking good, looking good. It's a badass orc boy with a big Shoota. So this is going to be the first one I paint. Alright, I'm going to stop shaking the camera now. Thumbs up. Get started. Okay, got my little dude sitting on a pedestal right now. Looking pretty good. Alright. Got him, basically I just took a little sticky tack, attached it to this glue stick here. Just improvising. I'm just gonna go, I really like, if you've been watching this channel, you know I really like the old 90s action figure craze, and so I like to go with nice primary colors on a lot of my stuff. So a lot of people like to do like, more realistic skin tones for their orcs and stuff I've seen online. I'm gonna go with just a nice green. I wish it was a bit more neon, but maybe I'll find neon green later. But yeah, I like these colors. Also, I've got this cool little tray. Some people sent me a free pin, hoping I'd buy more pins, and it came with this thing. So thank you for sending me that free pin. I'm never going to buy more pins, but thank you for sending me this thing. Whoever you are. So yeah, we're just going to start with this green. I'm just going to pour a little bit in one of these little doodads. And the cool part is when this dries, I can add some more paint. Maybe a little bit of water, and it will turn into paint again. Okay, so we're just going to get started with some green. Alright. So my shaky hands are definitely a liability when it comes to my artwork. So I am always trying to compensate for it by, this is going on a bit thick. I'm wondering if it would have been easier to paint this before I glued it all together. I'm sure there's people who do that. I don't think I'll go too crazy on the painting up underneath there. I want to at least get some of it. Just at least one little coat up in there. Alright. This is my first fantasy miniature. I feel so... There's something very lethargic about this. Something very relaxing. Maybe I should turn this into an ASMR series about painting fantasy miniatures. Hello and welcome. No, I can actually kind of see the appeal of this. Actually, it's very relaxing. And there's just something about, you know, seeing this thing kind of come to life under my brush. I'm really liking it. You know, making action figures is actually something I've wanted to do. And this is kind of the next best thing, I guess. Most of the action figures I made when I was younger have broken, but you know, I would make up an original character and then make an action figure of it. There's a character named Jungle Joe that I made an action figure out of Sculpey. And I made an action figure before you could just buy them anywhere. I made an action figure of Gurr from Invader Zim for an ex-girlfriend, and she really dug that. Made that for her birthday one year. Sculpey is a very fun thing to play around with, and it's cheap. I learned a lot about Warhammer 40k orcs from Jason Mewes. He's a big fan of the orcs from Warhammer 40k and would paint them, and I don't know, they're pretty dang cool. I guess he would try to paint them to stay out of trouble. It didn't work. But yeah, he would try. See, I kind of like the marbling effect. Just a little bit too much paint over here. Like I said, you can really see that undercoat kind of come through, and I don't mind that at all. Okay, now that we've got that green, switch over to a different color. I think we're going to do some silver for his gun and some accents on his armor. Good sound. Maybe I should do this as like an ASMR thing. Some good... I don't know if the microphone's picking that up, but it's just some good Good triggery type sounds in there. Maybe that would be my niche. ASMR fantasy miniatures. Let's see, where else should I paint some silver? I don't know, I think put another coat over here. Okay. So for some of these colors, I'm using the Screamin'. This is Screamin' Yellow. Figure orcs like hot rods, you know. The red ones go faster and all that. So I wanted to add some real hot rod colors to their weapons and everything. Figured that would be really cool to. Orcs are basically like the rat finks of the 40K universe. So, really as far as yellow goes, like normal yellow, I'm just gonna do this like a nice bright yellow, his little tassel thing. Just a nice blazing bright yellow. And I think maybe this patch back here on his back. This patch kind of holding his backpack together. Just gonna make that a yellow. You know, how about... No. Here's what I'm gonna do. I got an idea. For everything that's not the tassel on top, we're gonna just do some black. A little bit of black. This will wash out the color. Alright, so what I did was I mixed up some of this into a yucky kind of tan color. Just go over this patch again with the yucky tan color. There we go. I think we're gonna make Maybe this pouch hanging off right here. And we got some orange. Some fiery orange. That's how we're going to get our brown, but we're going to clean my brush real quick. But I'm not going to be using this orange just as an orange. I am going to mix it with some black and yellow to get a nice brown. There's a lot of different ways to make brown, but I find orange and black is the easiest. In a way, I think doing these orcs first as my first miniatures is going to make it a lot easier, because if I don't have to worry about color matching, I don't have to worry about all that stuff, because orcs are naturally a little chaotic in there and unorganized in their uniforms, and they don't really care about uniformity so much as practicality. So some of the colors on their uniforms aren't going to match, and they're just going to be more worried about whether or not they can make it on the battlefield. Rather than being in organized, whatever. What's the word I'm looking for? When you're a bunch of dudes and you know what you're doing and when to do it. Discipline. I am not very disciplined. Trying to decide what to do next. Surprisingly, not a whole lot of red going into this thing. I think I'm going to do white next. I'm going to have to do white for his teeth. You know, I think I need to make his lip a little bit more defined, so I'm going to add just a skosh more green. Okay, let's do the white next. Busting into the paints that came with it, because apparently I forgot to grab white when I was getting into it. Ew. Let's make sure this is nice and clean before I go stirring up the white. White's very touchy. And then we're going to go crazy, because bones and teeth aren't really white. So we're just going to add just a skosh of this color in there. Little goes a long way. It's almost too much, but I think it's good. We'll get this little tooth down here. Teeth, by the way, are the currency of the orcs, because they grow their teeth pretty quickly. They'll just pull out one of their teeth to pay for something, or they can just knock teeth out of whatever orc is around them that happens to be pissing them off that day. It's like, hey, you're pissing me off today, so I'm gonna take your teeth, mother licker. Try not to swear on this channel. Trying to be a good boy. Want to get them ad revenue dollars. We'll see. See if that ever happens. I don't know. Sometimes I think anybody who is going to get famous on YouTube has probably already gotten famous. And everybody else is just trying to copy them. I mean, I suppose I could try to copy other channels, be more like my friend John Riggs. Just do a video every day of takes on stuff that's going on. I don't know. I just want to do my own thing, I guess. I always got to be different. I always got to be difficult. I'm not saying that what those guys do is easy or whatever, but you know, Metal Jesus, he's got his. I mean, there's a clear formula there, and I both appreciate it and also admire it. I just I kind of want to do my own thing. I mean, so far so good on this guy. I think I'm just going to touch up on the green a little bit and then bust out the red. And that'll be the last coat of that for now. He's looking pretty good. Okay, we're going to hit him with the red. This red is called Rad Red. See? Rad Red. I feel like I should put this red on sooner. And I think we're gonna mix a little bit of this cream together. Make a nice pink. We're just gonna go very carefully. Okay. Okay, I think we're going to call that good for now. And then once this dries, we're going to go in with a wash, and it's going to really transform this dude into something amazing. Because right now you can see just really nice primary colors and everything. Once I hit it with the wash, you're going to see it's basically like auto shading. Really awesome effect. And that will be the next part of this video. Alright, so here's this dude. He's looking pretty good. I'm trying to figure out what direction I can go with the camera. It's like the opposite direction of what I would think. So here we are. I mean, this guy looks pretty cool, right? You know, he's looking okay. A little bland. Some of the details are lost because the color is very, you know, very vibrant and bright. So in order to fix that, I'm going to use what's called a wash. I just got this wash from my local craft store. This one's used for like military models and stuff, and it's just a black wash. Like ideally, I want to get, if I do this regularly, I want to get to a point where I'm using different colored washes, because black is a great way to shade things if you're in a hurry. You see a lot of people, when they learn to draw in Photoshop, they use burn and dodge to try and shade things, which is fine, but you know, in reality, when you're actually looking at an object and trying to shade it, you want to use different colors. You want to use cooler colors to shade, warmer colors for highlights, that kind of thing, because that's really how we see in real life. But since I'm just trying to do this in a hurry, and I'm trying to do this the easy way, and a lot of people online, it seems like they do it this way because, you know, when you're painting an entire army of these things, you want to do it the easy way. So, and this is my first time doing it too, so I'm going to end up taking some shortcuts as much as possible. So that's just how this is going to happen. Hopefully at some point, if I keep this up, I'll be using more sophisticated methods. But for now, we're going to go ahead and try this black wash and see what it does. Okay, so from what I understand, your job with a wash, I've mixed this up pretty good, I think. I'd like to think so. Your job when using a wash is basically just to get it down in the little grooves and make sure it doesn't build up anywhere where you don't want it. You can kind of see it doing to this brush what it's going to do to the model. It's building up in areas and leaving the raised areas white. And that's kind of what you want here. So here we go. I mean, yeah, it's making them darker. It's making me glad I used some bright colors. That made it super dark, especially around his face. Let's see if I can clean that off. The way I understand it, you're just kind of supposed to let it get down in the cracks and just kind of wipe it off anywhere it ends up where you don't want it. So, yeah, okay, that's coming off. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I succeeded in making him look really dirty. But hopefully the next step will clean him up, and see, the idea is it's supposed to be getting down in here into all the little cracks and grooves and provide like a shading, sort of. I don't know if it's doing that or not. Well, seems like the more I remove, the better it looks. So I'm gonna. I think I've learned that little goes a long way. And I think once I go in and dry brush and highlight, it's gonna look a lot better. But for now, he just looks like a dirty orc. He's a filthy, dirty boy. Which is funny because he's an orc boy. He's a dirty boy. Nasty boys. Covered in mud and crud and goop. Yeah, like I said, we're gonna go in, do the dry brush and highlights. Alright, so I gave that plenty of time to dry, and like I said, he just kind of looks like a focus. There he is. He just kind of looks like a dirty dude. But I'm gonna kind of fix it with some dry brushing to really bring out the details there. So the idea is the wash gets down into all the little grooves. You can see it there. And then when you hit it with the dry brush, a nice lighter color, that hits the surfaces and makes it look nice and shiny. So that's what we'll be doing now. I've never dry brushed before, at least in this kind of capacity. So from what I understand, based on the online tutorials that I've watched, you just take some paint. Try not to use too much paint this time. I was filling my little thing up here way too much. So I'm going to use yellow for the color, because it's going to just be like a real light, just real... I think yellow is probably going to be the best color for all the colors I've chosen here as a highlight, especially the green. Metal I'm going to kind of go over with the silver color a little bit in some areas where I think it needs it. And then the teeth I'm going to go ahead and repaint because I don't like the way I feel like it ruined it. So I'm just going to go back over those teeth and fix them. But I think yeah, the dry brush is going to do wonders for this bad boy. So the first thing you do is you just get a brush you don't like, which this one is pretty beat up. You've seen this before in other videos on my channel. I've used it to paint trees on Charizard paintings and whatnot. But it's gotten pretty beat up. It's hard to clean spray paint off of brushes. But yeah. So we're just going to load the brush up with some paint, and then you wipe it off until it's almost all gone. Okay, I think that's it. Here goes. And I guess the idea is you want to kind of come down on it the way light would. So here goes. Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm actually pretty impressed by how that looks now. Yeah. Okay, this is starting to look good. I like it. But I'm still gonna go in and clean up those teeth, and I think I'm gonna maybe redo some of the silver on the bullets. Just kind of clean it up a little bit. Just a little bit of touch up on his teeth here. I don't want to go too crazy. That's crazy. Okay. Okay. Well, it looks like if I remove it, I'm just gonna try to kind of dry brush. Use that dry brush method with just this brush. Let's see what happens. Hey, here we go. I'm gonna try to just get the corners similar to kind of the dry brush, but I don't want to put too much paint on. Again, I'm just trying to mimic what the light would look like coming down on this thing. And we're just going to touch up these bullets a little bit. At least just the tips of them, so that you can tell what they are. We got some white on him, on his butt. Oh no. Well, shoot. What do I do about that? And try to make some of this brown again. Ooh, that stuff's still wet. We're in business. God damn. That's probably why. Because I got it all over my fingers. Didn't realize it. I'm going to hide my mistakes by just adding some texturing to his pants and his backpack a little bit. There. Now no one will know. Okay, well. That's my first fantasy miniature that I ever did paint. Now, he's not perfect, but he's mine. I'll keep him. The last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna paint his eyes. But they're so tiny, his eyes are so tiny. I'm just going to use a toothpick and just kind of dot them. Just to... Here we go, shaky hands. Well, that one looks a little bit better. We're gonna go ahead and do this though. I had to clean it up a little bit, but you know, I think he's looking pretty good. Maybe good for my first try. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Yeah. So next time we're going to I'm going to introduce you to some new friends while we put this old friend aside and paint something else. And I feel like I'm just going to keep improving as I go along, and I'm going to look back on this ugly mug as a work in progress or something. I don't know. He looks okay though. Looks better than I thought I would do at Fantasy Miniatures. We'll just say that. All right. Bye.